Well, howdy everyone, welcome back. Hello Stumbles, Blade Vap, Mecha. Majestic soaring music to have Vaps drown, dance, and undulate to. Or MSMTHVDDU to. Meowdy Kiwi, how are you? Kiwi, are those packs, the Pokemon Generations packs that you posted, are those still sealed? I was gonna wait longer to ask about that, but I really want to know. They look sealed in the picture you sent. Pokemon Generations sealed packs. Because if they are sealed, you might want to go look on eBay what sealed packs tend to be listed for. It's a lot of money. Oh boy, I can't wait to see this Delta. True. Do people mistake you for Mudkip all the time? That's so rude. Kiwi says they're quite expensive now. They are, and honestly, you might just keep them sealed and let that price continue to go up. I mean, goodness. That's crazy. So today I wanted to hopefully get the backgrounds in on these two illustrations. I got like their details done. Thank you. I got the details done, but there's obviously no backgrounds on them. In fact, let me move the chat box a little more to the left here. Chat box, you're kind of in the way. That's about as far left as I can make it move. There we go. And then I'll move the art a little bit to the right. Oops, that's the wrong way. It's the opposite of the right. There we go. Okay. Now you can see at least some of what I'm doing here. All the time, says Delta. People call me Vape sometimes at conventions instead of Vap. People who like read the comics but don't think about how it's pronounced. Today was a day of ups and downs, but I'm fine. Glad to hear it, Blade. I learned this week the all-foil Commander decks for Final Fantasy MTG are being sold for non-MSRP prices as high as $800. That's insane. That is insane. Holy moly. That is bonkers. Hi, Echo. How are you? Not what I'm called. I'm going to a trading card show this weekend called Top Deck, I think. It's in San Diego. Or not Upper Deck. I think it's Top Deck. I think that's right. To sell some of my friends' Pokemon cards. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what I see there, because I think there's going to be a lot of rare and expensive things. Not for me to buy, just kind of for me to consider. Kiwi says I had a lot more of them a few years ago. I sold all but 4 for 30 each back then. Oh, pain. Still, it's really exciting that you even have those 4 sealed. Sealed packs are a whole thing right now. I think it's especially because of streamers and like TikTokers like what is his name? Deep Pocket Monster, who do like pack openings. It's sort of driven up or like vintage pack openings, I should say. It's really driven up the demand for people who want to open their own packs, so thanks, TikTokers. Not a sentence I thought I'd say, but okay, so I've done a little bit of work with the white ink pen to sort of emphasize which parts are which. I'll do more once I've added the background in. I think I'm just gonna leave it for now. Water. Okay, I've got my big old Garfield cup of water. Queeduke. Zootopia 2 trailer. It's such a weird trailer, too. It's like, the music is super, like, video game music-y. I was not expecting that. And there's, like, a ominous villain. It looks very, like, pulp, cop movie kind of styling. I'm super curious about it. The Danger Noodle shape. True. I think for Garchomp, I want to do, like... Honestly, for both of these, I wanted to try something. I wanted to try doing, like, I don't even know what I would call this. I want to do, like, a paint wash of, like, different layers of colors, like, really thick. And then I want to tilt the page so that the paint, like, drips down. It's been ages since I've done something like that. I feel like it would be really cool effect with these two particular monsters. Can I reach my tape from here? I can. I can see that the paper is starting to come unsealed from the block, so I'm just gonna like tape it down so it stays flatter. I'm gonna change my name to promote Hit D&D Adventure Rainforest Odyssey. What? Background coloring. Speaking of Hit D&D Adventure Rainforest Odyssey, this Friday on my stream, Clay is going to be running another Rainforest one-shot of a different area on the map that has not been run publicly before. It's going to be a miniature dungeon called the Graphite Barrow, and also a boiling geyser fight. I'm very excited for it. And it's going to be with some other game developers who made a game called... I totally remember, and I'm not looking it up on my phone right now because I forgot the name. One moment, please hold while I remember with my brain. Oh, this is Glass House Games, which I just remembered, and then I'm not Googling them right now. Whisker Wars, that's what it's called. For some reason, all I could think of was Of Mice and Murder, which is not the same thing. Whisker Wars is a Redwall-styled card game that has a whole bunch of like animal people that you can play as. And so I thought it would be fun to run a one-shot for them. Here's a link to their Kickstarter. 2 days until local Comic-Con. Oh, that'll be fun, Echo. Delta says, I totally remembered. I'm not looking it up on my phone. I've never heard of that game before. Is it any good? Oh yeah, it's the best. You can be playing D&D with John Steinbeck. John Steinbeck, the author. Oh, that's Of Men and Murder you're thinking of. Of Mice and Murder is a D&D adventure by Brendan Lee Mulligan. Sorry I'm loudly eating a carrot right now. I was just really craving a carrot and some ranch. And Clay brought it to me, and then I realized that that might actually be the crunchiest snack I could eat on stream. Twinkerbell, a new short from Legends of Evantris. Oh man, I'm behind on Legends of Evantris. I need to catch up. Of Men and Murder. Wait. What am I thinking of? Of Mice and Men! Of Mice and Men! Of Mice and Men is the real book. Of Mice and Murder is the Brendan Lee Mulligan adventure. And Of Men and Murder is nothing. I made that up. I just cannot get this paint to come out of this tube right now. I might need to just get more. Oh, there we go. I got it. Just kidding. Easy. Easy peasy. Did you guys see that, the jailbreak that happened in New Orleans? Where the prisoner wrote "Too easy, lol" next to the hole in the wall. Tale of Despero? I remember that book. Coming for one shot featuring John Steinbeck and Herman Melville. Of Mousehold and Mon. The what? No, that was incredible. Yeah, there was a jailbreak in New Orleans where they carved a big hole in the wall. Here it is. Escaped inmates in New Orleans. They've recaptured a bunch of them. Yeah, there was a big hole in the wall. And one of them wrote, "I'm innocent." One of them drew a picture of a face, and one of them wrote, "Too easy, lol." Here, I'll put it in here. People are still betting on if they get caught or not. I don't know how many of them got out. Okay, it says 5 are still at large. Okay, so there's a good chance at least one of them is not going to get caught. This is very interesting. Half have been found. Wow. Also, welcome to the chat, Vaporeon. How are you? Okay, let's see. So I've got the blue I need and the green I need. I also want a little more of my, like, uber turquoise. My, M-Gram branded turquoise, which is... I've had this tube for what feels like my whole life, because I never use it, and it's way too big. But I'll use a little bit of that. That'll look good. And then for Garchomp, I want almost the opposite colors. I want like intense yellow, orange, magenta, colors that'll make its blue scales like stand out a lot more. 2 weeks until the Switch 2? Oh my god. See, the Deltarune is the only thing I've been keeping track of. I keep forgetting that it's the same release date. Because Deltarune is all I care about in life. I'm so excited. How do they fit through there as Kiwi? Yeah, I don't know. I guess if you're like in dire enough straits, you can jam your body through a lot of small gaps that you wouldn't otherwise attempt. They cut the toilet, I think. It looks like a 2-foot hole. That's amazing. They Shawshanked their way out. I think prisons would be prepared for that. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. It's pretty incredible. It's funny that they had enough time to leave little messages on the wall. I think that's what gets me about the whole thing. Oh. Oh no. Oh, I got ranch on the carpet. Oh my god, 1 minute. Oh my god. Okay, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I wiped it up, it's fine. Garfield Kart 2? Seriously? Did Garfield Kart 1 do that good? Look now? Also, hi. Hello, Kiwi Cat, how are you? Another Kiwi in the chat. The Kiwis are multiplying. Thank you so much, I'm glad you like my art. I'm just about to start painting, theoretically. So I claim. If I'm not painting in the next 5 minutes, you guys can hold that against me. I need some more magenta. Nope, this tube is all dried out. Okay, let's get a different tube of magenta. Garfield Kart Part 2. What do you mean there might be a Garfield Kart Part 2? Are they like... They got rated in Australia? In the style of HBO's The Last of Us. Okay, let's go look at this. Oh my god. Garfield Kart 2, All You Can Drift is the full name. Oh, that's so good. Oh, wonderful. I hope it makes $1 William. Flair, thank you so much for subscribing for 58 months. Hold it against you. This chat actively works to derail you, but think about the mind horse. No, I shan't. You can't make me. I'm focused. I'm like some kind of tool that is good at focusing on things. I'm like a guide light. Kiwi says the difference between that Kiwi and me is I'm a cat. Cat, to be more specific, with a K. True, true. First game to sell a Garfillion copies. So glad to be able to share the good news. See, look, now I count on you for my Garf news. I appreciate that. Draw mind horse and have Clay eat the paper. He's not even in the office. I'd have to like chase him down. I'm not willing to do that. That sounds tiring. I think Garchomp, I'm gonna start with Garchomp. I think that one's gonna be a little easier to approach. So first I'm going to mix up some magenta. Flair says, chat, I'm so tired. You been burning the midnight oil lately? Is that a phrase? Did I make that up? I know there's a phrase that's burning the candle at both ends. But I'm not sure if burning the midnight oil is real. Okay, there's some nice magenta. That'll serve us well in the times to come. Indigo Park Chapter 2 trailer. I'm the #1 source, is Logno. Garfield Chomp. Do you think there's a Garchomp named Garfield somewhere? Oh, definitely. Is that normal or shiny? Oh, I'll never tell. No one can tell. It was supposed to be normal, but I made the blue a little bit more dark, so let's just say it's a shiny. Who would even know? It's a mystery. Okay, we've got some nice yellow here. Beautiful. And then I want like some normal red in the middle. In between the magenta and the orange and yellow, we'll have a nice bright cherry red. But I don't want too much of it, so I'm just gonna mix a little bit of the cherry red. Art Studios. How are you? Have you considered trying to make your own pixel art Deltarune styled character? Oh man. Oh, I should make a Deltarune Xyler. I could use that pixel program you gave me. Wow. This carrot is getting crunchier with each bite. Something yokai watch related. It's definitely a phrase. Okay, phew. Better be neat, not a pea elephant. What is a pea elephant? Sounds like a non-PG euphemism. Normal and Shiny have the same vibe as Gengar. Kiwi says, I don't know much English, but it's great to have interacted with you a bit and see your art. I'm talking to a translator right now, hehe. Wow, the translator works really well then. Your English sounds perfect to me. I'm so glad you were able to come by. Okay, I said that you guys need to hold it against me if I don't start painting, and I think my 5 minutes is just about up, so don't hold it against me. I'm painting. It's beginning. It's happening. Have any of you seen that movie that came out? I think it's called Sinners. I really want to go see it. I just haven't had the time to go see a movie lately. Okay. I think I'm going to start with yellow. So I'm gonna really clean my brush off because I don't want any blue in this yellow. Okay, looks nice and clear. And it's gonna be like a super, super intense marigold colored yellow. And I'm gonna start by just layering it in here very gently. And I'm gonna use too much paint. It's gonna look like puddles of paint, and that's on purpose. That's because I'm doing this like drippy paint thing. So it's gonna look like I'm really overdoing this. But really, I'm doing it the normal amount. The desirable amount. My little niece, my mom collects marbles. I've told you guys about this before. She collects like really fancy like art glass marbles, and she has a whole bunch of them in her house, of varying, you know, types and qualities. Some of them are really fancy and expensive, but she also has a lot of just like normal, like, you know, kids' toy marbles. And so my mom has set aside this like tray of marbles that my little niece can play with. And it's like, the tray has grown larger and larger as years have gone by. My mom has added more and more marbles to it. So now it's like, you know, probably around 100 marbles. And it's so funny because if my mom like takes one of the marbles, my niece like notices and is like, where's my marble? Kids have like such odd and specific memories for things. Because you'd never think that like a 3.5-year-old would notice one marble missing among that many marbles, but she does. So I just think it's funny. It's funny what kids notice, and I guess like if you think about it, kids like don't have that much stuff compared to like adults like to remember. Like there's not as much on their minds. So something just like having a marble is like a big deal. And she wouldn't want to lose her marbles. But I think I told you guys that my niece bit someone the other day, right? Yeah, we talked about this. It's so terrible and so funny. I need a smaller brush to go around Garchomp's claws here. But I don't have one on hand. In my hand, rather. So I'm just gonna power through. In a minute, I'll switch. Okay, so now here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pick it up and let the paint run down a little. Actually, I need to spread it around a little more. 1 second. just gonna like fill in all these little white gaps around the edges of Garchomp's scales. And get right down around his knee and his tail. And then I've got a little too much orange paint right there. I'm just gonna grab it and sort of bring it up here. Very, very carefully around his Garchomp, as they call it. And down like this. Down around his jaw. I'm going to leave a little bit of a white outline there. I'm going to grab some of this red and move it farther down so that it's a more even spread. And I need to go around his other thigh scales very carefully. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna pick it up and tilt it and watch the paint ooze a little bit. I don't want this bit to go onto his face, so I'm just gonna soak it up. Anywhere it's puddling near the edge of Garchomp, I'm just gonna dab it up because I don't want it to drip onto his scales. Okay, that looks cool. I know I'm super far behind in the chat, you'll just have to bear with me until I finish this layer. So now, I'm gonna grab more of this magenta color, continue to sort of layer it upward. I'm gonna connect it through this little opening right here around his horn. Wasn't Lokno last week who was talking about the game Blueprints? Because Clay started playing it and it's super cool. It's really out there. I like wasn't totally sure how it was gonna like actually play out like functionally, but very creative game. The premise is basically, for anyone who doesn't know, you are playing as a character who has received a conditional inheritance. You must find a hidden room in your, I believe your eccentric uncle's mansion. And it's like a roguelike kind of deck builder type game, but instead of drawing cards, you are exploring the house and picking, as you go from room to room, you're picking what the next room will be and seeing how far into the house you can get. And eventually when you run out of sort of the stamina to continue your run through the house, you start over the next day. But you can like find things in the property, or on the property, that can be like unlocked throughout your different runs through the house. It's just a very spooky, atmospheric, puzzly sort of game. I'm really enjoying watching it. I can see why it's become so popular. So now I'm going to get a really bluish purple and continue this sort of fade of color upward. And now is when I'm going to bring in that obnoxious, intense turquoise I was talking about earlier. But just a little bit at the very top. around his claw here. Alright, and this last little bit, and then I'm gonna go in with my lighter brush and clean it all up. Okay. Dampen my brush just a little bit so I can go in here and clean up some of these messy edges. Make it look like I did it all perfectly the first try. Go around his little head horn, up over his fin here. And his little spike. And the claw. Oh, my hand is getting shaky. I feel like when it's really warm out like this, I tend to get a little shaky easier. Not super helpful for watercolors, I have to say. Could be better, for sure. Okay, and then I'm gonna go around to this part. There we go. Okay, now I will catch up on the chat after I tilt it and let the paint sink. Alright, there we go. Got a nice little mix. Okay, I catch up on the chat. I'm so far behind. Let's see, where was I? I was modeling 3D Fakemon from Pokemon Uranium earlier. I've heard Uranium's good. You should use Blunt Ralsei as the base, and where Blunt Ralsei isn't actually in the game. Believe it or not, Blunt Ralsei, not canon. The worst thing Blades ever told me about. English translators work pretty well. Uranium mention, OMG at P Elephant mention at your reaction fab. Thanks, it's when you're translating from English. Blunt Ralsei is going to be in chapter 3. I've heard it's amazing. Can you guess which Pokemon I was modeling? Better be Nupin, because I love that germ. Lilo and Stitch live action is tomorrow. Oh wow. Got to see it in pre-release. It was okay, says Vaporeon. Okay, well, I guess okay is better than it could have been. Heard from reviewers it was better than live action movies with some changes. Starts with N, close enough. One of the best, not a high bar. Oregonian. It's Giovanni Newborn Specimen. Oh, like original. Fully customizable. Whoa, that's cool. You made it you! That's so cute. Look at him. Scuba cat. Is it Umbreon or Sylveon in this model? My Uranium Nucleon still. Oh, I see. Looks so good. That's why you can't bribe kids with anything. You can't follow through with because they'll always remember. Yes, kids have incredible memories for personal property. As long as it's theirs. Kids will remember that. Raptorch is a cool design. Your reputation with children is decreased. P Elephant is a reference to the yokai Fidgefen, whose power is making you have the urge to hit up the bathroom but have to hold it. No! I'm so distracted from doing anything today, says Auroran. I need to stream that way. Stream. That way I can draw and chat. Garchomp or Sculpt. Is Vapped on 3D? Nope. Thank you for redeeming Hydrate. I will, out of my beautiful Garfield cup. The best cup on earth. I'm gonna play that so bad, Scooby. It's a great game. I did an 11,000 by 12,000 abstract drawing. Oh my god, Discord did not go file. Of course not. Blueprints, been playing a lot of it. Been streaming, but wow, I'm stuck now. Happy with the last art I made for stream. It's all coming together, Detective Pikachu. Holy crap. That's really funny. Not streaming too much this week, says Blade. Fab, how much do you know about color theory? I mean, a little. I know the basics. Hi, Bootsakoi, how are you? Color green is just a theory here. Usually I just mix colors myself to get the colors I want. MFF is shaping to be awesome, you think, so far. What about it? Hello, Derek V. Scizor spotted. Housework duty for me. Sounds good, Echo. Currently building a cheapo entertainment center upside down. I just finished. Found out the top is backward. No! The worst! Garfield cup. Taste the Garf. I will. Tastes great. Okay, so Garchomp is going to be drying for a little while. And now I want to work on my good friend Scizor over here. I want Scizor to be a very different color palette than Garchomp. Originally I was thinking these two would sort of be like not a triptych, but something. But now I'm thinking I want them to be very different, because I have this vision for the Scizor image that it's like bright, like teal and like blue and stuff, like Baja Blast colors. I feel like that always looks so good with like red paint. So my group is as close to what I consider an all-star cast as possible, but Delta's not in it. No! Still, that's awesome though. Are you doing like a big group meetup? Going for a max of 15 people across 3 rooms. Holy moly. That's a lot of people. Speaking of a lot of people, one of my good friends locally is having her 30th birthday on Memorial Day, and the theme is funeral for her 20s. So we all need to dress like we're going to a funeral, which I'm really looking forward to. I think that's going to be really funny. And then we're supposed to bring photos of our 20s as though we are, you know, reflecting upon what it was like to be young. I think this is going to be very, very silly. I definitely have some, like, serious black clothing in the closet, and then I was thinking maybe I can pick up, like, some black lace or something at the craft store and make, like, a veil, like one of those little hats that has the little black veil in front that, like, rich women wear in movies when they're at a funeral. That's really funny. As an FYI, for a funeral theme, it's not an appropriate time for your red dress. Fuck! What's even the point? That's hilarious. A funeral veil. Yeah, you know the like fussy little black like lace veils. Sorry, I'm just deep in thought right now trying to figure out how I want to approach this attack. Okay. I think in the center I want to do more green. I know my camera won't acknowledge such a color, but I swear this is like the most bright green you've ever seen in your life. It's not gray, it's green. You're just gonna have to trust me. And I want it sort of like radiating out from this claw attack that he's doing. So I think that'll look freaking poggers. Just really been enjoying doing this sort of Lisa Frank-ass series of paintings lately that are just super, super bright colors. Like the Flygon that I did. Rainbows are cool. Okay, so now I'm sort of working my way outward from the green into blue. Carefully around his foot. The green that's in these little cracks to be more of a green and less of a blue because it's closer to the source of the color. Like so. Some more turquoise here. There needs to be enough of this blue before I switch to like a darker blue so that it has a really nice like contrasting effect with Scizor's red exoskeleton? I almost said scales, but no, it's definitely not that. Bugs don't really have scales. They have exoskeletons. Okay, and then as I come around the far side of Scizor's body, I want the turquoise to fade into this more dark blue color. So it should be, whoops, I almost dipped my brush into my Garfield cup, which is what I drink out of. Just out of instinct. That's not where I want that to go, though. Okay, go very carefully up and around his wing. Because it's almost like white in color. Oh, come on, hand. Don't shake now. I need a nice, stable hand for this. But not like a stable hand who takes care of horses. That's... I can't afford that. Okay, there we go. And then... I want this to fade into this color. This color to fade into that color. Just a real smorgasbord. I'm just gonna like brace my hand against the dry paint on Scizor so my hand stops trembling. I tried to stay hydrated today, but I was helping my mom do a lot of moving stuff in the garage, so I think I just lost a lot of hydration throughout the day. Okay. There's our nice base colors. Put this down for a minute and grab a smaller brush to fix up the details. Go around the edge of the little foot. And his his back paw. The back wing here. Oh, even down in here. And up and around the wing. Whoops, I just dipped my hand in the paint. Hello, JFK League. It's KL from the JFK League. I attempted to raid, but I think something messed up. Oh no, sorry about that. Well, thank you for attempting. My alerts are currently broken, so I just noticed your message. Sorry about that. I've definitely had some failed raids before. Sometimes it gets really, it gets fussy. If you click like end stream too soon after raiding, it's just like, never mind. There we go. Just finish this layer of painting and then I will catch up with everybody. It's so warm and dry that the paint is like drying really fast, so I'm like a weird race against time right now. Phew, okay, I think that's good enough for now. I think we're just gonna let it sit and dry while I catch up. That was a little stressful. Phew, okay. Let's see, where was I? All you need is boots with buckles and platforms. Wait, wrong aesthetic. Wearing platform boots to a funeral is kind of a power move, though. Roran redeemed, ooh, big stretch. Thank you, I will. Might have been the loudest I've ever heard you swear, sorry. Show up in goth aesthetic. Vap swearing, boots with the fur. What the fur? How naughty. Don't give her ideas, Kiwi and Delta. Oh, trying to rebrand as a Jerboa. No one told me character design is hard. Oh, Jerboas are so cute though. Good choice as far as rebrand. Boots are my thing. Happens more often than you'd think. That's true, that's true. Character design is hard. Now you've been told. Have you painted an axolotl? I don't think I have. Oh, a carapace. Yes, that's the term. Need to practice world building. I feel like I only make good characters with no world, or a good world with no characters. Lauren says I'm good with both, but horrible with the story. The most tilting would be the fact I cannot draw my ideas. Vap's alerts are currently broken. How dare you? I love this silly dancing Vaporeon. Thank you, Blue Bandana Jake made that for me. Really sarcastic. Shouldn't be as sarcastic in stream. JFK says, I can't remember how I ended up following this channel, but I'm happy I got to join a stream. Well, thank you so much for joining. I'm glad you're here. I'm telling you, have you seen this interview with the guy who made the English Pokemon logo? Yes, I saw this morning. It's so cool. I think my favorite thing about it is that, like, all of his drafts are bangers. I feel like usually when you see people's drafts for a logo, you're like, a lot of these were not good. But all of his were cool as hell. I do need to fix my alerts. That's probably what happened. I love your art. Thank you so much. It's warm there? It's quite warm here. Summer in San Diego. Well, I don't know if it's actually summer yet, but yeah, it's been getting to the 80s lately. I love the silly dancing Vaporeon. A power move, you say? You haven't painted an axolotl? That's good, because they axolotl questions. Boo! It did make me laugh, though. I can't deny. You heard it. Okay, since it's so warm out, the Garchomp side is actually almost already dry. So I think I'm just gonna get back to work working on that part. Corny puns are your signature. Well, I guess there's worse things to be known for. Okay, so now I'm gonna go and do a little bit of highlighting around the edges of Garchomp. Like around this part of his nose, part of the jaw here, make it a nice clean outline. Same thing with his fin down this way. The chest. There's no real light source in this image, but I'm just going to generally treat it as though there is light coming from kind of the upper left area, just for consistency's sake. Oh, those sprinklers are going crazy outside. I don't know if you guys can hear that. They've been fiddling with the sprinkler system in my neighborhood lately. I got like blasted when I stepped out of my car the other day. The poor guy didn't realize I had just pulled in, so he turned on the sprinklers to test them. He was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." It was funny. I mean, thankfully I was just coming home, so it didn't matter if I got my clothes wet or whatever. I just went in and changed. Alright, a little bit of cleanup here. And on the top of his leg. Claw. The claw. It's all looking pretty good. Barely broke 50 in New England today. I'm so mad, says Kiwi. Oh no. It stays cold so much longer there. 90 here last week, says Auroran. Kiwi Cat says, I have to go. Nice to be here for a while, even though I didn't understand most of it. Haha, see you later. Bye, Kiwi Cat. Thanks for hanging out. I hope I see you again. I don't make sense even if you can speak perfect English, so that's not really your fault. Oh, I should make his mouth a little darker on the inside. It's almost summer. What is the weather doing? Says Kiwi. Hard to say. Yeah, I feel like back here should be a lot darker. There'd be like a lot more shadow on that part of his mouth. Yeah, something like that. And then the tongue should be a little lighter. Yeah, that's cool. This week it's low 40s, my state is bipolar. I know that feeling, made 80s last week. Sometimes it's like 30-degree difference in 10 to 15 minutes and back to normal. It's 56 here, says Blade. Is 56 like a comfortable, what is that like? Is that a typical weather for this time of year where you are? Or is that on the colder side? Because it sounds very cold, but like, I'm biased, so. 56 is definitely like jacket weather. I met someone at a friend's birthday this weekend who had moved from, I think, Chicago to San Diego, and she said that she like, after a couple years of living here, she just kind of like got rid of most of her like good jackets because like she just literally doesn't need them. That's how it is. Comfy-ish, tad cold, I can manage. Tad colder than usual here. As long as it's not windy, I'm happy about it. Oh, the wind hurts my ears. I agree with you on that one. Colder than usual, definitely, says Kiwi. Ooh. Okay, let's do some darkening of different parts of Garchomp's scales. Like, I think this part of his like leg and tail I want to be darker. And it'll like make for a nicer contrast against the gold too. I think that'll look cool. And then maybe like the underside of this. Kind of make his face look scarier in general. I feel like he looks way too calm. I want him to look like a beast. I'm just kind of using like leftover mixed blue paint on my palette so that it'll have like a very kind of unified look at the end. Yeah, that looks cool, I think. Go into my paper towel and soften the edges so it's not super crunchy looking. And I need a little more blue. Let's see. Going to the beach next week. Hope it won't be raining all week. Oof. Rain at the beach really is kind of hard to get past, honestly. There's some kinds of locations you can tough it out, but rain at the beach, very discouraging, I think. Because the sand just holds on to the cold and the wet. You can't really avoid it. I'm also gonna darken up this fin a little bit, along with this arm. Blurs. Actually, the blurs overall need to be punched up a lot, so I'm just gonna add more pigment right on here. And just go over it again with my finger. Blur, 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 blur. Yeah, it's sick. Same thing with this one. No, that one honestly needs more. I'm just gonna straight up finger paint here. There we go. Cool. Let me catch up here. It can get very windy here, says Aurora, and highest gusts I've seen is 130 plus miles an hour, sustained of 120. Holy moly, you need some really seriously built architecture to withstand that, huh? Side note, Japanese win. That's a beautiful whooper. Only 67% joking. The 16th US President. Great heavens, the artistry of these pocket monsters is quite pleasant. Thank you very much. Welcome to the chat. Do you do 3D sculpting? It's Abraham Lincoln. I don't, sorry, just do writing for commissions. I extend my greetings to you. Writing's nice. Any tips? Just keep at it. Yeah, it's true. I don't like sand that gets everywhere. Thanks for redeeming hydrate. I shall. Swimming when it's raining is so fun. Yeah, I do like that feeling. I like sitting in the jacuzzi when it's pouring rain. That feels the best. Oh, okay. Staying hydrated. I'm gonna make it. Theoretically. Okay, this side feels mostly dry, and I do want to punch up the intensity of the color on Scizor. I think I just want to grab straight up like a red and then mix some orange into it to make a color. This isn't really the color I want, though. I guess if I'm really looking at the color I want, it is just kind of like an orange. Let's see how it looks if I just put some orange on here. That is kind of sick. I don't know if the camera's really picking it up properly, but... I want this picture of Scizor to be almost like larger than life. Like the colors are like pop, pop, poppin', etc. So, because really Scizor is like a red color, but I feel like orange is such a aggressive color when it's used in this way, and that's kind of what I'm dreaming of. What a beautiful little tune for an aggressive bug Pokemon. Do 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 do. Meow 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 meow. Alrighty. Yeah, it's kind of sick. It's kind of sick, folks. I'm like going crazy with the paint, but I'm gonna sop some of this up in a minute. Oh, I'm getting rated. Hello, everybody. Sorry, my alert box is turbo broken right now. I appreciate it. I'm working on this painting of Scizor and Garchomp right now in a watercolor. And I just put a whole big layer of color on, so it's gonna be just a second before I can catch back up to the chat, but I will. I'm coming. I swear. I'm on my way. Just sop up some of this extra orange in places where the light is hitting. And I don't want so much on this arm. And okay. Phew, okay. I'll give that a minute to chill while I check the chat. Addictive Alexis rating with a party of 6. Welcome everybody. How are you today? What were you streaming? Looks like art of some sort. Looks super cute, says Peppers and Roses. Thank you so much. And thank you for following the 16th US Prez. Okay, let me catch up here. Welcome, Big Emo Panda, X the Big Will X, Peppers and Roses. Been writing for over 10 years, find great joy in it. You must always start somewhere. True, true. Figured I might as well start writing. Apparently jerboas don't drink water, says Lokno. They hydrate via berries, etc. Huh, interesting. Since I already have OCs, the quality advice. The key to writing is to start, and a writer-artist was good from the beginning. True that. My only problem is having motivation to continue on some plot point. You get it, I got rated again. Turbo broken, maybe you need some turbo milks. Hi Toby, greetings from hanging out with my friends watching Poker Face. I think we're Natasha Leon is in Colombo. Hello, hello, hello! Ah, Mudkeep emote, it's so cute! Okay, at least it wasn't too long before I noticed that raid. I just... You gotta believe me when I say I've tried many, many things to fix my alert box. And I was pretty sure I had it this time. Didn't work. I feel like I could draw and draw and draw, but writing? Which Pokemon do you find yourself most partial to? My all-time favorite Pokemon is definitely Ho-Oh. I also really like Pidgeot. I really like Pom-Pom or Ikorio. I like Farfetch'd. I like Slowking. What Pokemon do you like, 16th US President Abraham Lincoln? I feel like Abraham Lincoln would like Girafarig. I don't know why. Maybe because it's tall and he was also very tall. Working a little bit on sort of the blur effect here on Scizor. I love Milotic. Milotic is gorgeous. That's a very fun one. An evolution is something you really have to earn. It has a great shiny. It's very powerful. It's one of those rare Pokemon that's just good in a lot of different contexts. Battle, contests, just general good looks, shiny hunting. Back when Gen 3 first came out, I definitely remember it having almost like mythic status just because figuring out where to find Feebas was so difficult. Minus Psyduck's Big Emo Panda. I love Psyduck. We tried turning it off and back on again, and by it I mean the concept of alert boxes. Unfortunately, I have tried that. Didn't work. Swampert's my favorite. I miss my shiny Ho-Oh. Ugh, such a good shiny. That's why my son is a Swampert. Most partial to Glaceon. Very good, very good. I just pulled a beautiful Glaceon card the other day that I've already showed off on stream, but you know what? I'm gonna do it again. Look at this beautiful Glaceon that I pulled. It's a Japanese Glaceon EX card from Prismatic Evolutions, and it's the only Prismatic Evolutions fancy card that I have, and I love it so much. Look at her! She's beautiful! I'm just gonna put that on the shelf behind me. There we go. Beautiful. Vaporeon, but also Granbull, Kangaskhan, Slurpuff, Porygon, Butterfree, stuff like that. That's funny. Those Pokemon do actually have certain things like in common. It's just a little hard to put my finger on. I think you like pastel and coral colors. That's certainly part of it. But not like pastel like just pink. It's like tropical pastel. Like a coral reef, which makes sense. Okay, I need to make this Scizor look reflective. That's my next task here. Sounds like a Bill and Ted, something that Bill and Ted would ask Lincoln. Oh yeah, Breloom's great. Struggles with Feebas for Milotic. It's so hard to find. Favorite evolution is actually Sylveon. Sylveon's great. I find Primarina to be the most beautiful creature, quite partial to water types. Primarina's great. She's always got such a big happy smile. My Ruby Sapphire guidebook erroneously listed Milotic's ability as Torrent. Have you tried turning off the entire concept of alert boxes? Okay, not the whole concept. Not everyone's alert box on Earth, just my own personal one. I wish I could turn off everyone's alert box. For a while I was unaware Marvel scale was a thing. Heavens above, a beautiful card. Shout out Glaceon, she's gorgeous. Isn't it such a nice card? I was saying that the reason I got it is because I was selling some Pokemon cards at our local card market, and the fella that I sold to owed me about $3 and change, and he didn't happen to have $3 bills, so he just gave me a pack of cards in lieu of change, and I pulled that Glaceon, and I'm very excited because I don't enjoy gambling, so I haven't bought any Prismatic Evolution packs because I just hate being disappointed. So this was the only one that I've ever had, and I'm very excited about it. Just gonna keep that lovely win streak going. Guys like Jigglypuff and then Pancham. Oh, that's a funny combo. Jigglypuff and Pancham. Real different vibes. Okay, let's look up Scizor so I can get a good look at where the reflective parts of its body are, because it is part steel, so it's a very metallic mon. I'm gonna look at the old Sugimori watercolor art and see if I can find another model that shows its reflectiveness. Reflecticality. Not a term. Weirdly, it's not depicted as being that shiny or reflective, I should say, but in my headcanon it is, so I'm just gonna count it. Okay, certainly along this part of its head. Because it would be reflecting the light from its claw attack. And on the top of its shoulder there should be a little shine. And then on its like wingy things. There should be a hard kind of reflective line. Yeah, this is starting to look good. The claw is important. My father's 18 when Pokemon released. He's been collecting since the original cards and anime released. He has several thousands of mint originals. Quite something he's proud of. Wow, that's really cool. You should definitely hang on to those because it's appreciating. Price just keeps going up on this stuff, and it probably will continue to do so. Friend hangout over. I can listen to Vapstream with words on, says Toby. Yes. Welcome to the Words On Vapstream. How are you today, Toby? Do some reflection on this part of the claw. And then just a bit here on the bottom. Do the same thing on this claw, sort of a round shape. And now the body. There should be a little bit of highlighting around the chest. And on his boots with the fur, his little bug boots. And then this leg. Clean up the edges of his wings because they got a little beat up as I was putting the background on. I'll make them nice and clean and sharp. It's Especially on this side, they got really beat up. Well, nice and clean. Yeah, it's starting to look sick. Okay, cool. Let me catch up. Big Emo Panda says, I'm kind of chaotic, but when it comes to collecting the cards, I gotta have all the ones of my favorites. Oh, thank you for following, by the way, Big Emo Panda and Peppers and Roses. I have a few of my original 16, but I have some cards I'm proud of. It's ironic, he and I are of different sides of the Pokemon fandom. I traded for a pre-release Fossil Aerodactyl. The owner wasn't sure where I wanted it. Whoa! Greatly enjoys the anime and TCG. I mainly enjoy the games. I haven't watched the anime in a hot minute, but I've definitely enjoyed it at certain points in the past. It was in crappy condition, but it's just so cool. Yeah, totally. If it's just for your personal collection, too. That's awesome. Oh, yeah. Huge mood. That's really good. Words on. Apply directly to the forehead. This is the thing. Doing good. Got some clay guys to show off. Started learning Shashiko embroidery. Ooh. Discord. Send my images. Butt boots. Bug boots. Sounds adorable even for something as aggressive as Scizor. Yeah, he's got little boots on. Just imagine something like Scolipede and bug boots. Yeah, that'd be a lot of boots. Actually, no, wait. Scolipede only has 4 legs, right? I'm not logged into Discord right now. How am I doing, Vaporoni? I'm doing pretty well. Oh, just open it in the app. There we go. It was trying to log me into the desktop version for some reason. Oh, look at all these little guys. Is that a strawberry bowl or is it a tomato? It's really cute either way. Dang, you're getting so fancy with it. Look at you. I made it too late, says Riley. No, I'm still going. I'm still chugging away. I've got more work to do. I love my plush Porygon. Porygon is so cute. It's a great Pokemon. Okay, I think what I need to do is put some dark outlines on Scizor. It's mostly just like bright colors right now, and I think it needs a little bit more outline to make it clearer where everything is. So I'm gonna grab a really dark red and just go over some of the lines on the body. Very happy the speckles in the clay came through the glaze. It is a strawberry bowl. It looks great. How have you been, Riley? Arm, a little bit of an outline, the underside of the shoulder pads it has, especially on this arm, which is sort of coming toward the camera. It should be all like foreshortened, so I wanted to have pretty intense outlines. I think that'll help sell the action of the shot a little better. Okay, got that. This claw really needs some work. It's like totally washed out. Even its little beak thingy, its opening is kind of messed up. There we go, it's a bit better. Camera's really struggling with the colors on this shot. It's so funny. It looks very different in the stream than it does in real life. I keep looking up like, whoa, that's not what I drew, but okay. colors are simply too based for my weak little camera. That looks a bit better. Same thing for Garchomp over here. I need to give him a darker blue outline. Toby says, next Tuesday is my last day of class at Ceramic Studio, but you better believe I'm taking him the 25 pounds of leftover clay I have and all the tools I got for myself and making stuff at home. You should. You've got a knack for it, clearly. Just relaxing right now. This is Riley. Good. For a minute, I was gonna say, you should, it's the weekend. It's definitely not the weekend. I do not know why I thought that. I thought it was Friday. Speaking of Friday, for anyone who missed this announcement earlier, Clay is going to be running a special new Rainforest Odyssey one-shot on Friday on my stream, showing a mini dungeon that was almost completely designed by me. Most of the stuff on Rainforest we co-designed, but this dungeon, it's pretty much all Katie. So if you want to see the ways that I came up with to torture players in Rainforest Odyssey in a dungeon full of terrible traps, you wouldn't think so, but I do have a sadistic side in game design. I made some yucky little traps in there, so I hope you enjoy it. It's just going to be right here on my channel. Same time, same place, and it's with the game developers of a game that is called... Oh man, I really thought I'd remember that time. Oh, Whisker Wars, I got it. That time I actually did remember, I just had to think for a minute. Yes, the developers of Whisker Wars are going to be exploring my evil dungeon. Please, join us. I'm very excited. I just really like designing dungeons in games. I feel like people sort of culturally know what to expect when entering a dungeon, that it'll be full of traps and treasure and danger and monsters. So you kind of come into it with the attitude of like, alright, this is gonna be rough, which is very different from just like, I'm in the forest, I hope I don't run into a bugbear. You know, it's like, it's got a different association. It kind of feels like you know you're taking a risk by entering the dungeon, so anything is fair game. I find that very fun. Up here. Where was I? Our stream is quite lovely to watch while resting from hunting vampires. Yes, classic Lincoln activity. I'm shiny hunting on Pokemon Flux, sort of kind of the sequel to Uranium, but not really, and I found a fun mon. It's one of the fossils. Oh, is it a fossilized tree? Like a fossil, what's it called? Fossilized petrified wood, that's the term I'm thinking of. A fly in amber called Petrifly. I like that concept. If I had a nickel for every Pokemon fan game that made a bug in Amber Fakemon that uses Amber like a mech, I'd have 2 nickels. Wow, that's a great concept. Certainly feels like Friday, says Riley. I think we should just make it be Friday. It does feel like a Friday. I missed the news, how exciting. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Hearing you considered a bunch of carrots makes me think you're eating a cartoonishly large carrot. You know, Mecha, honestly, you're not wrong. This is the base of the carrot that I was eating, and it was a good, like, foot-long carrot. That's why it's taken me so long to crunch my way through. We bought this really big pack of carrots at, I think it was at Food for Less, maybe? Toby said it's enrichment for the player's enclosure. The screaming is how they show joy. Exactly! You guys loved being trapped in my dungeon of horrible ideas. You loved all the traps and how they tried to crush you. And did crush you at certain points. You loved it. Right? Really, some of the red is actually what needs touching up on Garchomp here. Yeah, if anything, with my combat design, I usually am a little too soft on players. I tend to pull my punches more often than not, but dungeons? I'm gonna get ya. I'm gonna frickin' get ya. Side note, my girl Daisy is sleeping at my feet, which is very cute, but also inconvenient because I'm in a rolling chair. Makes sense, exactly. It's like going to the gym. Yeah, it's a PvP zone. You know, you're gonna have a challenging workout, you're gonna get in some fights, steal some money, get crushed by a big rock. Normal real gym experience. Then I can get a package I'm waiting on. OMG carrot. Vug's funny. Carrot for scale. Imagine a dungeon like that in PMD. It's a monster house. It was our favorite. We played it 17 times. Yeah, says Toby. Oh, Daisy. And Zen. Yes, Daisy's eternal enemy. I know I'm not going to a woo, but any luck on tabling at the con? Don't know yet. Still waiting. Must depart. Your art was lovely to view. Please have a lovely evening. You too, Abraham. I'll catch you later. Thank you so much for following. I hope I see you again. Imagine Vap, but not just Vugzvunny, but Vig Fungus. I don't know if I like the term Vig Fungus. It sounds too much like fungus. I had a dumb idea for a PMD dungeon trap. Do tell. Did y'all ever use those traps that were in, Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, the ones that were in the Grand Underground? There was like fan traps and pit traps and stuff that you were supposed to like use to trap your friends. I never really used those. They always seemed funny though. I feel like the Underground was just a little too soon. It would have been really good in an era of like more robust online interactivity. And it would have been really good if they'd released it on time with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, but they didn't do either of those things, so... I'm just gonna darken up some of the black areas on Scizor. Put a little more pigment in its eye here. Garchomp also needs a little more eye pigment. The nose. Don't worry, I hate it too. Oh my gosh, I just kicked. Is my computer still on? Okay, phew. I kicked like the power strip underneath my desk and I thought I unplugged my computer. That would have been a hilarious way to end the stream. Don't worry, I hate it too. I hated them. And Zen is such a sweet boy. Seaman is away on weekends for work. I try to give him a little bit of playtime and cuddling while she's away, and Daisy's so mad about it. It's called Widespread Boom, or basically just a large explosion in the dungeon. That'll get ya. The Grand Underground would have been cool. He'll take a scooping up, no problem. He accepts tummy rubs. He loves to lie on top of people. He's a big sweetie. I wish Daisy didn't think he was a demon from hell that she has to exorcise. That really would be good. I wish that we could explain these things to cats. Was there more planned for Brilliant Diamond's Shining Pearl Underground? I think what it was is that it wasn't, the online functionality for those games wasn't ready upon release, and by the time they finally got the online functionality working, most people were done with the game already. So it was kind of just too late, unfortunately. These colors are intense, I forgot to mention. They are intense, but they're... I think the camera is really making them look more crazy than they are. It's gonna be called Widespread Ruin, but that's a Yu-Gi-Oh card. I think I used those traps at least once. It's like, girl, please. My favorite trap... Let me see if I can find a piece of paper. Yeah, here's my notebook. I can't remember what this is called. This is like a classic trap in D&D and other games of that sort. Let me grab my pencil. You know, I'm just gonna use this pink highlighter. Let me see if you can actually see this. Yeah, okay, you can see it. So it's basically like, imagine you're in a dungeon, right? This is the floor. This is like the walls. And you see that there is a big pit in the floor with spikes on the bottom. And like skulls and stuff. This is the adventuring party right here. There we go. And so you think, okay, the trick is to get over the pit. That is the trick. But the real trap is that this is like an open pit here, you can like jump right in, but the real trap is that if you leap over the pit in some way or swing over on a rope, there is a pressurized plate trapdoor like right here, where if you step on it, the floor drops out and it drops you into another spike pit. It's so stupid. It's so simple, but it's so stupid. And it won't always apply, because sometimes people will find a way. Kaizo trap, thank you, yes. Some people will find a way over this initial trap that doesn't involve landing on the opposite floor, so that's fine. But if you were like, well, this shouldn't be that hard, I'll just jump over, then you fall into the second pit. It's so dumb. I like traps like that, where it's like annoying, but also funny. You know, you're kind of like, ah, I should have seen that coming. That's Kaizo. Yes, that's the one. Have you ever done the underground trick to get Spiritomb? I have not. The lowest quality stream. When you avoid the second pit, you get shot by a gun. You aren't Bugs Bunny, you're Vile E. Viote. Viote, isn't that what people use to get high in the desert? Oh, that wasn't a good joke, I'm sorry. That was a peyote joke. Kind of. Okay, I want to outline this guy's teeth a little more. Yeah, that looks good. I think I want to make his claws a little bit more shadowed too. The old double hidden spike trap, eh? A classic. It's a classic. It's a classic for a reason, you know? There's a monster in D&D that I always forget the name of that mimics a stalactite. That's the one that's on the ceiling. I had to remember Boulder's little mnemonic for it. It mimics a stalactite because it just looks like a stalactite, and then it falls on you and gets you. It has like a name that's like really weird. It's called like a grouper or something. Someone will remember. The first time I played D&D, I totally got by one of those. It didn't kill me, but it did fall on me and attack me. And I was like, yo, what the heck? You tricked me using my environment. Okay, there we go. Now his claws look a little cooler. They just needed to be more emphasized. Same thing with the teeth, honestly. I think I need to make the shadow on them a little more intense. Cursed joke. 40 days and 40 nights stuck in the desert? Now that I think about it, I'd make a Yu-Gi-Oh! Trap card, a D&D trap. I don't know where I'm going with this actually, says Kiwi. Second cat post of the evening. I haven't had an opportunity to show off my parents' wet beast. Oh, he fell in the water. He looks so shocked in that last photo. Oh, the poor creature. I remember there was a Charlotte's Web GBA game. I had a Babe GBA game. Rock falls, everyone dies. The devs internally called it Pigs of Persia because it was a platformer. Oh, Pigs of Persia is a really good name. Pigs of Persia. Okay, so next I'm going to put some effects. I'm gonna put some effects. Everyone strap in. The effects are coming. I want to put like some cool like shwa 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 kind of effects around Scizor. I know I don't really know what that means. We'll figure it out together. Okay, let's see. This almost has the feeling of like a TCG illustration, except that it's not the right orientation. It should be horizontal rather than vertical, but I often am just more comfortable working vertically. I don't know why. It's a little easier for me to wrap my noggin around somehow. is looking like an effect. Are y'all feeling affected yet? I'll make it really dark blue back here so that it stands out more against the background. Yeah, it's a full art. Exactly, Drysu. Exactly. You understand. Yeah, that's kind of sick. And then the farther back, the thicker that I'll make these stripes. There go the sprinklers again. My goodness. Get sprinkled, idiots. Love a big circle as a design element. Amen, brother. You and me both. It's a classic for a reason. Yep, I think that looks sick. Okay, I'm gonna give that a minute to dry and catch up on the chat. He has the silliest eyes, it's really good. The emoji! Loving this piece, totally not biased by the color schemes. Hell yeah. Child's Web GBA game produced at Backbone, action platformer game that a Wilbur leaping on platforms, referred to internally as Pig of Persia and Honors of Prince of Persia, the game we absurdly based it on. That's awesome. Think of this strappy goth boots again and you say it obsessively thinking of it. It's a full art card. It's an effect that says schwa, schwa, schwa. My mnemonic for stalactites and stalagmites is stalactites hang down because they're tight like that, and stalagmites stand up because they might do it. It's like an effect in here. One might even say super effective. Well, big circles is a design element. Orb, much like Ice Beam says tick 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 tick. Sprinklers, a plein air watercolorist nightmare. Sprinklers. Cheers, I'll drink to that. Gotta go finish my work because it's 4 AM. I gotta sleep. Good night. This is really fun and cute. Thank you so much, Peppers. I hope I will see you again. Sleep tight, my friend, and goodbye. Looks awesome, says Riley. The schwa, thank you. Brewsty Springler says stumbles. Tell me more about that, Stumbles. Go on. Brewsty Springler. Is that like a Bruce Springsteen joke, perhaps? I'm intrigued, I have to say. I'm intrigued. Exactly. Okay, I got it. That's good. I just, sometimes I'm not sure if I get it, but I need to stop doubting myself. I did get it. I was there. Okay, I'm gonna do something I haven't done in a long time in watercolor. Y'all ready for this? Strap in, because we're about to drip. There we go. Hell yeah, that looks sick as hell. I'm just filling my brush up with paint, and then I'm holding it up above the canvas and squeezing it and making it do its own little splatter effects, and it looks sick. I'm just gonna let it be kind of messy and drip everywhere, and that's cool. Get some yellow over here. And the higher up you go, the bigger splat you get when it comes down. So this one I'm gonna do from way up high. Yeah. I'm having fun. So often I'm a really obsessive watercolor artist, as you guys know, but sometimes it's fun to let the paint just do what it wants to do, I think. And you can even just take your brush and just do this, just kind of shake it. This one I don't like, so I'm just gonna soak it back up, that's fine. That's the other thing you can do, is just kind of undo it when you feel like undoing it. Put some yellowy gold down here. And you can like flick it at an angle if you want it to look like explosive. Like that. Drops, drops, drops. Yeah, that's sick. Okay, now I'm gonna go in, soak up the ones that I think are excessive, leave the ones that I think are sick as hell. I definitely had to add some more because I didn't want it to just look like blood. That's the problem with doing the red. Alrighty, let me catch up here. Is it turning out wonderful? I love how they're mirrors color-wise. Thank you! I'm pretty happy with the color schemes myself. Bruce Springsteen if he was a rusty sprinkler. Fab! Deciphering that joke like an archaeologist. It's drip time, baby! That is a cool effect. Local vaporeon splashing. I thought you were gonna say I'm gonna do something I haven't done in a long time. Paint! Somehow it's working. Jubilife City theme is just great. Red drop on Garchomp's wing. Battle damage. Exactly. Wow, Kiwi not accurate, but so accurate at the same time. Craving cheese. What kind of cheese? This is important. One must be specific. That looks cool. Whoops, I got a splatter of paint on Scizor over here. You're not part of this, Scizor. Alright, sleep tight, Mecha. I will catch you later. Port wine or a cheese ball? I forgot the name of the cheese I love. That sounds like a novel. I forgot the name of the cheese I love. A tragedy. Holy crap, that's so funny. Oh my god. Okay, I think that's probably it for me tonight. I think I'm gonna send a raid over to Cass Mutt, who is doing a subathon right now. Actually, hang on. Cass is not active right now. Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. Okay, let's see if I can find someone who's drawing. It looks like streamer Maple Cinna is streaming, and they are drawing. Yes, perfect. Okay, they're drawing. I'm gonna go ahead and send a raid over there. Thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. I hope I will see you on Friday for the Rainforest Katie's Hell Dungeon stream. Hope you'll have a fabulous evening, get some rest, have a snack, take care of yourselves, and I will see you on Friday. Same place, same channel. Smell you later, gamers. Stay soggy. Goodbye. Did I do the raid message right? I did. Okay, goodbye.